Hey guys, Trip Piddle on the most targeted citizen. Hope you're having a good day. It is one of those days for me. Watching everything I have get ruined. This right here was on top of my insulation. So that's where I keep it. I don't take it down. Here's the plane, just got outside. See? Every day, all day long, this is what I deal with. As soon as I woke up this morning, that loud-ass plane right there dove on the house. Wow! Well, that's kind of what really woke me up. But, yeah, I keep this on here so my insulation doesn't get wet. And as you can see, somebody took it off and set it down here. See, somebody always, every day, every night, somebody's in my backyard messing around. Get cameras, got cameras. Well, you ought to be able to get them, and they're not invisible, are they? Camera. You should never show people your cameras, by the way, but it doesn't matter when you're being surveilled like me. Camera down on the light pole. 2 cameras in the front, another camera on the other side of the house. You shouldn't show your cameras. You're giving up a tactical advantage. You think? You think I don't know that already? Well, what tactical advantage do I have when somebody's monitoring me 24 hours a day, non-stop? Monitoring me. Let me do this, because I gotta do all this. This is what I go through every day. I gotta come outside, grab my cell phone. Oh, I forgot my cell phone charger. Forgot it. I gotta get my Jackery. Best investment you'll ever make. Buy a Jackery. Best investment you ever make. It's a solar generator. You can plug solar panels into it. It can run off AC. It can run off DC. Best investment you ever make. The 1,000 is like about $1,000 what it costs. This is the 1,000 watt, but this will power my entire house for 24 hours. It's quick, it's convenient. They have a 250 model. They have a 350 model. They have a 500. They also now have a 2500 model, which is awesome. I don't have the solar panels for it. Wish I did, but I'm kind of holding my money until I am able to purchase a house or a piece of property, which that's going real well. But here we go. Let's start the day off with airplanes, non-stop. So when I come outside to start welding, which is going horribly because I think my welder's been manipulated. Well, let me rephrase it. I know my welder's been manipulated. So I got to get my Jackery. Got to get my phone charger. Bring them outside. Then I got to come over here, uncover my welder. I worked so hard. When I got that piece of when I made that 18 by 52 foot piece of goddamn concrete at my house, that was the proudest day of my life. I celebrated that more than I did having children, because when you're a mechanic and you crawl around on the ground and have dirt and rocks stuck in your ass for years and years and years, a piece of concrete is priceless. Now I'm stuck in freaking mud thanks to the neighbors. So grab the welder, Jackery, charger. Then I gotta go get the big cord to get it from the house to bring out here, and of course, because my house is hacked. Did you know your houses can be hacked? Yeah, they can put a soft breaker in your house. They can put a breaker and label it as a 50 amp and it'll only be a 20 amp. 1,000 different ways to make your breakers ding, snap, pop, not work. This is not starting off good. It's already late. It's like 4 o'clock already. So my day's ruined because I hurt so bad. So I have to do that. I have to get the drop cord out. Then I got to get my stereo, get it hooked up so I can listen to my preaching. But today, remember the other day, I haven't been able to weld all weekend because they stole my welding wire. So I go to the welding shop. I had to get gas for my grill. 2 boxes of wire in this box. This right here, $140 just to weld on this old truck. When I get in there, one guy's working, and they're good guys down there. I enjoy them. They're cool. But I get in there today. As soon as I get in there, one guy's working. As soon as I get ready to purchase, the phones miraculously start ringing. Just bing, 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 bing. That guy's like, oh my gosh, what happened? What's going on? Why is the phone burning off the hook? And I'm thinking, organized gang stalking. Organized gang stalking, that's what's happening. It's exactly what it is, organized gang stalking. Kind of like a call flood when you see on First Amendment audits a call flood. Same thing happens to be as a targeted individual, gang stalking, gang mobbing, where everybody just flies in like the gas station the other day. By the way, if you're here on this channel, let me do a little explanation. the last 2 weeks, I've gotten more subs on the most targeted citizen than I have since I was at 400. Within a 2-week period, my subs grew by 25. Now, 25 sounds like nothing, because it is nothing. That's how much they have my channel throttled. But because I got that 25 so fast, they had to shut it down. So what do? They go back in time and they find a video, and I don't even know what video it was. They find a video saying, well, you said something about the election. So, boop, you can't do that. So they cut me off for, I don't know, 2 weeks. And isn't it convenient? Because if you have any warnings or any strikes, when you hit 1,000, you cannot monetize until those warnings or strikes are gone. Guess what happens? It takes 90 days for each warning or strike to go off. So here it is. I quit talking about politics. I quit talking about all that. I say, okay, you want to do your corruption, and I'm not allowed to say it. I can't talk about my health. I can't talk about the health care of America. I can't talk about any of that stuff, so I'll stop talking about it, and they still go back in time and try to find something. So the video was on the channel for the last year. I mean, has this channel been up for a year? Maybe it's lasted a year. That'd be the longest a channel for me has lasted a year. Then they go back in time to shut me down again. So here I'm on this channel that never grows, never goes anywhere. It's got more trolls than it's got subs. There's a guy online on YouTube called The Quartering, and he does news, he does social media issues. He's okay. I used to not like him because he'll sit there and read the news, and if you're going to read the news, you need to be good at reading. And he's not really good at reading. He stutters a lot, and like if the word is gun, he is an he overly censors himself. Like instead of the jab, he'll say something. He'll make up a different word for it. But he overly censors so he doesn't get punked, so he doesn't get kicked off YouTube, because he's making a killing off YouTube and Twitter and all this other stuff. Don't get me wrong. I used to, just like Tim Pool, I used to not like Tim Pool, but Tim Pool is starting to come my direction now. He's starting to come to common sense instead of the left-wing nutbag. So he's on there last week, and some chick gets him kicked off all because he shared a picture. And he shared the picture because his friend got kicked off for the same picture, and he was taking a stand. Well, as soon as he shares the same picture, they kick him off, and then he's on there on YouTube wondering about, I can't believe they kicked me off. I'm taking a stand, and they kicked me off. And then for the next week, he goes on a YouTube rampage, sharing videos and getting all these people pissed off to go tell Elon to get him back on. If you're going to take a stand, take a stand. Don't say, well, we got to get off Twitter and then fight to get back on Twitter. I mean, the thing about censorship people don't understand is it becomes unconscious what you do to silence yourself. It becomes, you unconsciously say, well, you know what I mean? I just can't talk about it. If we talk about it, we're going to get in trouble. I just can't talk because I'm going to lose my revenue. Well, I don't get a revenue, so what do I care? But this channel's here to help people. This channel's here to expose the evils of what's happened in this targeted individual program I'm under. As you hear the gang stalking dog, we've got that one down there today. All weekend long, guys. All weekend long, nothing but circus music from the 10 or 12 illegal immigrants living in the house next door. All weekend long, circus music. They parked their truck right up underneath my bedroom window because I sleep in the living room. Sitting there, it was like they were just in the back of the, and I can imagine them doing this in the back of the minivan, doing this. Non-stop. Will somebody take my money and let me leave here? When I tell you, have you ever seen somebody try so hard to leave something? You're not really trying hard. You can just do it yourself. Really? I'm walking around trying to give somebody money to let me buy it. They set the price, and I try to buy it for their price, and they still won't sell it. I've ridden 500 miles in my Ranger the past week looking at property. Anywhere from 15 minutes down the road to an hour and a half up the road, trying to buy a piece of property. And guess what happens? If somebody out there in the wild world of property is trying to reach me, the hackers won't let them. Literally, while Mason and I are traveling yesterday to go look at a piece of property, my gas gauge goes, in front of my eyes as soon as we get out of town. Down to nothing. Now, of course, you know, I keep my odometer working so I can kind of gauge how many miles I have on the truck. Guess what doesn't work right now anymore? My odometer quit working now. So now I have no way whatsoever to tell how much gas is in my vehicle. And guess what? If you fill it up too much, it pours out the top because somehow, after I put a new gasket in it twice and put silicone around the top to seal the gas in, it leaks gas everywhere. Isn't that strange? Well, you're just a terrible mechanic. Oh, so my gas gauge goes, whoop. So now the panic sets in. PTSD, severe, panic sets in, got to get gas. If not just because of me, I can handle running out of gas. It's a big deal, but it ain't that big a deal. But I'm not going to do it with a child in the car with me. It becomes more dangerous staying on the side of the road with a child. So, Google. Better not say it too loud. It'll stop the video. I say, hey, Google. Nearest gas station. It pops up 5 gas stations. I push the one that's 2.3 miles away. Driving down the road, it says, take a left to the nearest gas station. I take a left, and it takes me all the way down this curvy road to the lake. No gas stations anywhere to be found. So I'm really panicking because the more I go, the gas gauge is down there saying, I'm empty. So me and Mason turn around. Hey, Google, nearest gas station. Nearest gas station is 12.2 miles. Well, when you don't know how much gas at all is in your vehicle and the odometer says 99 miles and the last bit you put in it was $20 worth, you ain't got much gas at all. So I start going to that and I look at it and it says, take a left, or take a right this time. I look at it and I said, nope, they're hacking it. If I'll go that way, it's 12 more miles. That's even farther out. So I just stay right on the road, and within a quarter of a mile, there's a gas station that's closed on Sunday. I go a little bit further, not even, I don't know. Little over a quarter of a mile. There's a gas station right there. Not only that, as we're going down this long road before my gas gauge loses its nuts, burgundy car, black SUV, white Cadillac Escalade. The Cadillac goes around and passes a ball. And I get it behind and I pass the black one so I can hurry up and take the left. Get around the black one, take the left, almost around, I guess. Finally get to the gas station. When I get to the gas station, boom, the Escalade that was in front of me and passed all of us and took off. I mean, he took off way down the road. He comes back just to park right beside of me and Mason at the gas pump. He was already gone, but now he's right beside of us. He came back down the road right beside of us to get gas. I get out. I'm pretty upset now. Walk by a woman right here in a nice burgundy SUV, because they love burgundies, whites, and blacks. They love those. It's the number one colors they stalk me with. I walk past her, and as I walk past her, she looks at me. She says, "Oh, I was about to freak out because I was running out of gas." Directed speech. I go inside, pay for my gas, get ready to come out. By the time I come out, the parking lot is full of vehicles, burgundy and white vehicles, filled up the parking lot. Big Chevy truck over here. White vehicle pulls right in. Parks at the corner of the parking lot facing this way. Not even facing this way like he's waiting on somebody. Facing this way. Another SUV comes over here and faces that way, that direction. And then the parking lot fills up with all kinds of white and burgundy vehicles. And then today, go to the welding shop. And the phones start ringing. It took me 25 minutes to get out of the welding shop. 25 minutes to go there. And the airplane's diving overhead all day long. Not only that, I talked to the guy at the welding shop, and I am butchering the welding on this truck. It looks like dog crap. It looks like, Mason's actually pretty good at welding. It looks like a 2-year-old welded on that truck. There's sticks of weld and duck poop, and it's burning. No matter what setting I put the heat on, it burns right through 20-gauge metal. The listings on the side of that welder says 20-gauge metal, which would be standard sheet metal on vehicles. It says temperature setting 1, and 20 gauges. Turn the speed gauge of the wire speed gauge up to 30. Here, let's double check that. And the guy says, "Well, maybe it just ain't turning down. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice to know that it's just more money? If I'm gonna weld, I'm gonna fix this truck up. And guess what? It's gonna cost me even more money. Here's the worst part. For the last 2 weeks, I've found the best deals on Facebook Marketplace. I could have doubled my money before now. I could have doubled my money. But because I'm holding my money, trying to buy a piece of property so I can escape, my money's just sitting in my pocket being spent daily. Let's see here. 20 gauge sheet metal. This is my gas mixture here. 20 gauge, 2 and 30. Heat temperature 2 and 30. So I put it on 2 and 30, still melting through. So I go ahead and put it on 1 and 30. It melts through just as fast as it does on 2 and 30. By the way, here's the empty roll of welding wire that just disappeared. Every day in my life, I wake up with a mountain to climb and no climbing boots to wear to climb up that mountain. Every day. A month now, I've been trying to buy a piece of property. And nothing. Another piece of property I found, went and looked at it, made a video. It's a beautiful piece of property. It's up on top of a mountain. I've left 4 messages and not one response back. I even called the company who owns it, not the real estate. The company owns it. Well, you'll have to talk to our real estate agent. Here's the number. Call the real estate agent, and still, not a call, not a word. And I won't even try to negotiate the price down. I just want to give them the money and walk away with the property. Nothing. Won't even call me back so I can buy a piece of property. This is the game. This is what I'm talking about. Everything in your mind. Because listen, for the people that don't believe it's happened, that's okay. That's okay. But you tell me, in your world, can somebody steal 2 Harley Davidsons from you and not be charged? Can they do that when proven in court? Can they get away with that? Will that happen? In your world, I don't know, if you got a pocket full of money and somebody says, hey, I want this for a piece of property, and you go to buy it, are they going to sell it to you? Well, absolutely right. In your world, no matter how close or far away you are from an airport, and the same exact airplanes are flying round and round and round and round over your head, are you going to ask questions? But not in your world. You know why you won't say anything in your world? Because you don't understand it. You don't understand it. Why on God's green earth would I embarrass myself like this for fun and games, for YouTube money I don't get? I do all this for I need this much attention? I'm to the point of taking pleasure when people are being targeted. Now, I know that sounds rough and horrible, but you don't want to believe me, and I'm telling you. It's just like law enforcement. I don't mourn them any longer. They go out and a good one gets killed. If there is any good ones, I don't think there are any good cops left. I think there are some that have the conscience to be a good officer, but they don't have the balls it takes to be a good officer. So when they die, it doesn't affect me. I'm just going to say, that is the trials and tribulations of a job of being the Gestapo in the 21st century. Because I know if I got a job and my job is to enforce law and protect and defend the Constitution, and there's a man standing beside me with the same costume on, and he violates somebody's rights, and I don't put his ass down for it, I'm no better than he is. If law enforcement, if you're out there enforcing laws against victimless crimes, you got a problem. And here's the thing I'm going to say. Just like my pastor said, you can't be a Democrat and be a Christian. That's fact. You cannot be a Democrat in America and be a Christian, because that means you stand for the slaughter of the unborn. You cannot be a Democrat and be a Christian. Law enforcement, you can't be a cop and be law enforcement, because when the Supreme Court of the United States says law enforcement can lie, they 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 can lie and kill, and you have qualified immunity to get away with it, you can't be a Christian. You can't. The Bible doesn't say that liars will burn in hell, except cops, because cops are good guys, and they have to do that. The Bible don't say that. It says there will be no liars in heaven. I just want out. I just want out. Because I'm telling you, the day I buy whatever piece of property I buy or whatever I get to do, the day I do, I'm coming in this yard and I'm cleaning this thing out so fast, you're just going to make your freaking head spin. It's going to be empty. I'm emptying this thing out, and I'm going to take my camper and I'll live in that camper just the way it is. Because this situation right here, I'm just about over with too. Just about over. I am tired of living in squalor. I'm tired of digging through trash to make ends meet, and then while I'm pinching pennies here, the money's flowing out the frickin' front door on menthol cigarettes and goddamn cat toys. Slaving myself on trying to make money to do better for a family who doesn't want it to be better. That's insane to me. I'm happy to live in shit. I'm just fine living in shit. There's nothing wrong with living in shit. I'm content living in shit. It'd be different if the shit belonged to you and you had that security thing. Well, ain't nobody gonna come tell me I gotta move out of my shit. But when you're living in somebody else's shit, that's a problem. So I'm gonna continue working on my shit as the plane comes back around. God bless.